welcome or welcome back. I guess that's what the cool YouTubers say, right? Thanks for joining me at Watercolor Blooms. Today we are going to have a discussion about what do you do when you have no inspiration, you have no clue what you want to actually paint, and you're sort of afraid of the blank page. It can be very daunting to have a lovely little sketchbook and nothing, no ideas to put in it. I have been there many times myself. So today I'm going to show you a technique that I've been dabbling with and a little bit obsessed with, and that is combining just splashes of color with doodling. So I adore florals, hence the name of my channel, Watercolor Blooms. But here I literally just took my palette with a bunch of paint colors on there that I love. And what I did is I started playing around with just making circles. So just making circles, some brighter, some lighter, but just different levels of intensity. Same thing with this one here. I think that scarlet kind of color ended up getting washed off. So I love this one because it is literally just circles. Like you can do a circle. A circle is just, it's just that. And then it's even okay if they're perfectly imperfect. So then what I did is once I was completely done with them, I came in and did some doodling. So I have some flowers, some geometric shapes, a couple little things, doodads coming off, some swirls, some circles, some dots. Love what's happening here. So I left some of the textures, just let things run into one another. Had perfectly imperfect. Some of my line work just went over top of it. Here it went around. Here I have open line work. So just kind of did a mix and match of a lot of different things going on. Obviously the line work is done after it dries. You can let it dry or make it dry with hair dryer. Today I'm going to be using this new set that I got. I never know how to pronounce it. I think it's Ganzai Tambi. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a lovely pigmented set. Absolutely love these colors. Just picked this up at my local art store, but I know that you can find these online. So we're going to be using that. And this is just my sketchbook that I sort of play in. And then I just always use a little white plate for my palette, and that's where I mix my colors. And I have my dirty and my clean water. And then I have 3 brushes, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear, and my spray bottle that is going to wake up my paints. So that's the first thing that we're going to do, is we're going to wake up our paints. With these pans, you just want to get them sort of going and woken up. You can also take your brush and drop some water in there and sort of activate them, get them going. And the first thing that I'm going to do as they are waking up, oh, and I also do need, I always have sort of a rag. This is kind of a felty rag, and some paper towel. So nothing fancy. Just, I don't even have it. This is like one I've been using all week. So nothing fancy here, guys. We're easy going, right? One, I'm just going to do the circles. And for the circles, I'm going to pick up my daddy brush, my big daddy. You can use whatever size you'd like. As I'm doing this, what I'm going to do is, let's see where we are. I just noticed that my nails are blue. So apparently I was in a blue mood. One thing to keep in mind as you're doing this, just picking up some water and making it a little bit lighter, is to move them around, right? So have some variety in terms of where the colors are located. And with the circles, I just sort of start placing them around. And then I'm dabbing in my water just with the tip of my brush. And then I'm going to come a little more full strength with that indigo color. And I'm going to start laying down some circles. And every once in a while, I'm going to kiss the little neighbor guy, right? So that I get a little bit of a fun run going on there. why I'm just sort of laying them in random spots. That's so that it's not heavy in one area with one particular color. All right. I know that indigo was not on our card, but I wanted to have it on there just to have a a dark color. So I'm going to pick up some of this other blue and I'm going to start laying it around. It's a little bit of a warmer blue. Let it kiss its neighbor. Some of these may not be, or maybe too dry by the time I get there. So that is fine. They're not going to run as much. All right. Now I'm going to rinse my brush and come over here and pick up some of the olive color. Oops, I didn't even put the olive down because it was just straight. And I'm just going to make some circles. I'm keeping most of my circles roughly the same size. And the other thing that I'm looking for is, see, I have full strength next to a lighter circle. That's intentional so that I have some variety also in intensity. So again, I have the full strength next to a lighter color, and then I'm going to rinse to make a lighter green. And I'm going to come over here. Oh, I love that little run. That was fun. Bring this guy over here. And you can just keep rinsing your brush, making it lighter. See how it makes it a lighter green. And I think I'm gonna come over here. All right, so I have enough greens around. Rinse my brush. And I'm gonna come play with this grayish brown. So see, it's full strength right now. So I'm looking for something that's a little bit lighter there and here. So you get my decision patterns, right? These are very light and also away from that. So it's just a little game of where can I mix intensities. So now I'm going to dip and dab off some of the paint. Come over here, and that's super light. That's going to be a fun one to fill in. Maybe grab a little bit more. This is very light, so I'm going to try and do a little bit more of an intense circle there. Now what I'm starting to look at is there a pattern that sort of emerges? And I'm seeing these open patterns in the middle, and I think I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to let it sort of flow as much as possible. That was fun. And I don't with art, you really have to know less is more. So kind of know when to say when. Sometimes you can have a tendency to overdo stuff, and if that's the case, you figure it out and you work it. So there was a lot of water right there. I decided to let it pull that color more into the center. And that's because I had too much water on my brush. Now I'm going to come in with this lovely little yellow color. Look how fast this is coming together. And see, because it's a cohesive color scheme, and even though we only have, what, 5 colors that we're working with, right? It's a very limited palette. We're able to get a lot of variety in there. See the lighter green and the darker green. And that's what I think is super fun about this sort of methodology, if you will. And I'm just sort of looking for where does it sort of visually flow in my mind. So these are connected, and they're already connected, so I'm not going to worry so much about that. And I'm just looking, where can I fill in the gaps? This guy, threes, odd numbers are always really pleasing to the eye, so that's why I went here. I'm rinsing so I can get a lighter yellow here. And I can force that yellow to play in there. I have to be careful a little bit going over there because it's going to make a new color, but that's okay too. It touched the blue and now I have another color, but that's okay because they came from the same color palette, which means that it's going to play nicely together, right? I'm not too worried about that. I'm looking because I'm seeing a little bit of a connection here. So I'm going to come over here. And then I'm visually going to connect these guys. So now I have a little bit of a flow for my eye to kind of come around, right? I think I'm going to go full strength here. So I'm going to let this dry and come back and do our line work. I love that you guys got to see that. Okay, so I just picked it up. All right, we'll come back when it's dry. So I'm just going to do some of these little shapes here. And I'm going to start just kind of outlining some of the circles that sort of speak to me, especially if it's one that I really love. Like I love that bloom that's happening right there. So I love not necessarily drawing directly on the color. I like going outside. And then I think it's fun where there's no color to actually draw a circle as well. To just give it some visual interest. All right, so I'm just kind of looking for some, I love what's happening there. And I may come back and do some more. And you can do like a nice thing like that, or you can actually have one that is maybe looks a little scraggly, and maybe you do two around, right? So I've done it just a lighter version. You see how thick that is? This one is just a really light, easy breezy. And again, I'm just looking for some variety, for some flow. Now let me add some flowers. So some of them are going to be inside the circles, some are not. And for this guy, I feel like this has a little bloom going on. So I'm going to go with the bloom that is happening there. And I do like to go element by element. So you'll notice I started with florals, and now I'm going to kind of do some bubbles. I have several that I've done with that. I have no idea if these would naturally come off of Daisy, but we're going to make it happen. All right, so I have a visual triangle of some florals. That floral's good. I think I'm actually okay with this. I could keep going and play with it even more, but honestly, for demonstration purposes, I think we'll just let this go. Now, what to do with this? You know, you could frame it if you like it. You could cut it up into, this could easily be several cards, or, you know, gift tags. You could do lots of different things. So this took way longer to describe than it did to actually, like, if you were to just to sit down and just do it. All right, but thank you so much for joining me for this one. I hope you had fun with our little circles, and join me next time for some easy beginner watercolor ideas. All right, hope you have a great day, and keep painting, keep practicing, have fun, bring joy to yourself. All right, bye.